Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch my time management and self study skills PowerPoint YouTube presentation, The Life Stressors of the Online Student. My name is Trina Baville, and I am an RN, BSN, MSN graduate nursing student at Aspen University. For most of us, the one thing we never have enough of is time. If you want to make the most of your college education, you will need to use your time wisely. Your time is precious. You need to make the most of it. No one understands this better than your college instructors, so they are careful not to waste your time, or their own, with meaningless assignments or busy work. The plain truth is that there is not a single assignment that you can safely skip and still learn what you need to learn from the online class you are taking. If on top of school, you are juggling a career or family or both, then you might be wondering when you are going to be able to sleep or go out again with your friends. To make time for everything you have to do, and at least some of what you want to do, you need to be able to use your time wisely rather than waste it. Do you often find yourself watching American Idol on TV when you should be reading a few chapters, preparing for a test? Do you ignore that nagging guilt you feel in your stomach? Do you always tell yourself that you'll get to your homework just as soon as you do the dishes and fold that last load of laundry before it wrinkles, but suddenly find yourself reorganizing your closet with your coursework still undone? If so, then you are exactly like almost everyone else. You procrastinate and have poor time management. Here's the scenario. You have a long list of things on your to-do list. You decide to stab at it until the tasks disappear in small bits, but you only do the easy ones. It is more than likely that the most difficult tasks that you left on your list were more important. You don't know why you don't do the difficult tasks. You just stare at them and worry that they need to be done. You take longer with the easy tasks, pruning and perfecting them beyond normal standards. Then you do it again. Then you do something that isn't on the list. The difficult tasks are still there, and you're still not doing them. This is called procrastination. Procrastination is the name for the act of putting things off, usually things that are urgent or difficult for us to begin or complete. Psychologists define procrastination as a gap between intention and action. People who procrastinate will surround themselves with distractions such as email and social media notifications, sniff around for alternative and less important tasks to do, and will power full steam ahead when the deadline is looming around the corner. Does this at all sound familiar to you? 15 to 20% of the population are procrastinators, so you're not alone. Everyone procrastinates to some extent. Severe procrastination can be a symptom of an underlying health issue, such as anxiety or low self-confidence. It is often thought that procrastination is due to poor time management, but it is mostly the result of somebody being overly optimistic about their ability to complete a task in the given time frame, thus leaving it until the last minute. So, what are some of the possible reasons for procrastination? Possible reasons for procrastination are lack of confidence in the task. For most people, if you can't visualize the end, you may not even bother to begin. Perfectionism and fear of failure. Lack of enthusiasm or enjoyment. People are more motivated by work they are passionate about, or having too much work to do at once. According to Freud, the pleasure principle may be the driver for procrastination. in which people seek pleasure and avoid suffering in order to satisfy their needs. What are some of the signs of a procrastinator? We like to use the acronym TILE. T, chronically late. Underestimates time to complete tasks. I, impulsiveness. Saying, I work better under pressure. L, lost. Feeling anxious and aimless. Lack of vision to begin the task. E, enthusiasm. Lack of enjoyment. Not passionate about the task. As stated previously, everyone procrastinates at some point as some form of avoidance. It's all about willpower, setting your goals in a manageable way that motivates you to begin, and also enjoy the euphoric feeling of smashing a deadline. Trust me, if you feel nervous about starting a task today, it will only get worse tomorrow. So, why not make a to-do list? Time management, satisfaction in every moment. Plan your day the night before or the morning of and establish priorities. To-do lists can become the crutch we rest on for reassurance that we are organized. Sometimes the task of making a to-do list is the only one we complete. The thought of having tasks stacking up on your shoulders in this manner can bring feelings of dread, guilt, and constant reminder that you have unfinished tasks. If you have to resort to writing your to-do list on toilet paper, then you'll only procrastinate more when it comes to tackling the task. To-do lists sometimes indicate the loss of control, done in haste and never finished. Trying to do too much at once with no prioritization. If you don't assign task priority, you are more than likely to binge on the low priority ones first, to mimic like you're making progression. How do you get around this? First, you start by assigning each of your tasks a level of priority with a due date. Break down each task and make the action points more specific in order to reach the desired goal. The average adult's attention span is 20 minutes, unless it's a particularly interesting topic. Taking shorter, frequent breaks instead of one long one will improve your concentration. And last but not least, reward yourself with an easy task when you complete a high priority task. The difference between a to-do list and managing tasks efficiently is that you are more concerned about time. There is usually an end product in mind. Time management skills. Simple ways to implement. First, you have to find a reason of enjoyment in everything you do. Second, continually look at ways to free up time. Third, concentrate on one thing at a time. And fourth, set deadlines for yourself. Self-study skills. The first step is to identify that there is a problem. Do you have failing coursework? Lack of understanding of the main course content? Do you ask yourself, was my study time effective? Am I more knowledgeable of the information reviewed afterwards? Are you cramming? Do you fail to seek clarity from your professor regarding assignments and coursework? Many people feel the hours of study are the most important. However, students can study for hours on end and retain very little. The more appropriate question is, how can students study more effectively? Students need to develop good time management skills. They must realize that there is a time for study, time for family, time to socialize, and time to just be alone. The critical issue is recognition that there must be an appropriate balance. Students should acquire a vision, a clearly articulate picture of the future they intend to create for themselves. This will promote a passion for what they wish to do. Passion is critical and leads to an intense interest, dedication, and commitment to achieving career goals and objectives. The student must choose the best study schedule, a time they feel is comfortable, in a place where there is little distraction. Students should not study hours on end. One should study 30 to 45 minutes, then take a short break. Eat a snack, have a cup of coffee, play with the dog, etc. Then return to study. This refreshes the mind, and often issues that may have been confusing before suddenly become clear. Students must not be afraid to ask for help when they have a problem understanding the subject matter. They need to do it immediately and not after days have gone by. They should not feel apprehensive to ask a faculty member, a friend, or go to the academic advisor at their school. It is not so much a question of hard study, but how to study in smart fashion. The bottom line is that the student must take responsibility and ownership over their study habits. In order for students to be successful, there is a list of must-haves when it comes to self-study skills. Students must limit your distractions, social media, cell phone, TV, etc. Reread your assignments or tasks for a concise understanding. Break down each task or learning objective. Take frequent breaks to increase concentration. Take notes or record your lecturer's presentation to refer back to. And last but not least, ensure you understand the type of learning style you possess. There are three main types of learning styles: the auditory learner, the visual learner, and the kinesthetic learner. Three of your senses are primarily used in learning, storing, remembering, and recalling information. Your eyes, ears, and sense of touch play essential roles in the way you communicate, perceive reality, and relate to others. Because you learn, form, and communicate best with someone who shares your dominant modality, it is a great advantage for you to know the characteristics of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic styles and to be able to identify them in others. A visual learner is someone who mind sometimes strays during verbal activities, likes to read, usually a good speller, memorizes by seeing graphics or pictures, not too distractible, has good handwriting, doodles, quiet by nature, and notices detail. An auditory learner talks to self out loud, enjoys talking, easily distracted, likes to be read to, memorizes sequentially, enjoys music, whispers to self while reading, distracted by noise, hums or sings, and outgoing by nature. A kinesthetic learner likes physical rewards, in motion most of the time, likes to touch people when talking, taps pencil or foot when studying, enjoys doing activities, reading is not a priority, poor speller, likes to solve problems by physically working through them, outgoing by nature, uses hands while talking, and dresses for comfort. It is important that you know the type of learner, that style that you possess, in order to combat the environment that is necessary in order for you to possess good study skills. Overcoming poor time management and self-study skills once and for all. In summation, examine your old habits, and when you feel yourself procrastinating, determine what you are trying to avoid and why. Push yourself to remain persistent and avoid projects that are unproductive. Good luck.